They are two of the most dynamic cities in Southeast Asia, both ex-British colonies, both predominantly Chinese. Their skyscrapers are monuments to their economic success, but in these cities are treasures which hark back to a different social and economic time. Exploring sites of history, culture, and natural beauty, I am on a quest for treasures. Treasures which tell the story of the people whose heritage are under threat. I am Linda Black, your heritage hunter. Singapore and Hong Kong are mirrors of each other's success. The islands are gateways to trade, and they were built on the backs of an immigrant population. This is the tale of two cities. Hong Kong Island is built on a series of hills. Long before the towering blocks, low-rise tenements were built into the slopes. These three-storied shophouses, known as Tong Laos, had businesses on the ground floor and homes above. This area in the West District has been gentrified, and the chic and sophisticated have muscled out traditional businesses. Amidst this network of steep, narrow streets, one stands out. Wing Li sits on a valuable piece of real estate, caught in a time warp of neglect, and somewhere in this neglect lies my first treasure. The newest thing on Wing Li is the 2-year-old street sign. It never had one before.
It's going to be a real challenge to find a treasure beneath the grime and neglect of Wing Li. When it was bought, the owner was said to have paid a small fortune for it. The key to unlocking it, tapping the memories of its residents.
But the true treasure of Wing Li, according to Roger Ho, lies in its architectural design.
Linda, this is Terrace. You see that, because Hong Kong Island is a mountain, a lot of the mountain area, so that we don't have enough space to build the buildings.
Okay.
So during that time, we cut the slope in arrow shape to make a larger space.
Right.
So on the space, a larger area, we'll build around 7 to 12 buildings together.
I see.
So this is what we call the terrace.
Right.
So,
I was wondering what that was coming from. So yeah, so the mountainside is actually cut into like that.
Yeah.
I see.
And you see behind you is the retaining wall.
Yeah.
So on top of the retaining wall, actually is another terrace.
Okay, so that's the foundation for another
terrace
up there. Okay.
But on top of this one, they already reconstruct the high-rise building in around mid of 1970s.
It's very bright.
Yes.
In here.
The architect was very clever because they let the wall open. You see, let the sunlight can go in.
Yeah, definitely.
And also have a very good air ventilation because this kind of building is for the grassroots people. Yeah. So it can save the energy and save the electricity cost.
The tenements were enclaves for the influx of some 1.6 million refugees who escaped from the civil war in China in the 60s.
Wow, look at this. This is nice. You see everything from up here.
Yes, it is very beautiful, right? So on the other hand, we can see that this kind of the building and also the terrace design, you can see the relationship between the people and the street. Because on the ground floor have a different shops, like old painting shops, silversmith. During that time, we have a street life. The relationship between the street and the people is very close. But you see the high-rise building, the one behind us, so on the ground floor have a big podium. There is no relationship between the street and the people. I can say that there is no street life.
The street markets of Hong Kong are fast disappearing. John Batten is part of a network of social and heritage activists who have been working the ground to save what's left of Hong Kong's street life from high-rise development.
All these pictures right here, this is beautiful. So this is no longer there.
It's all gone. Yeah.
It's all gone. All of these photos are architectural, points of interest in the city, they're all gone.
All gone, yes.
The activists have had some success.
This building behind us has been preserved as well.
Yeah, it's the site of the very first public school in Hong Kong. And itself, it's not important. It's, again, what could have been there, 2 huge high-rises.
Oh, is that right?
So we've stopped that because we didn't want something like that on this site.
I see.
Buildings like that, these massive high-rises on a podium with nothing on street level, and the associated pollution problems, overcrowding problems, the trapping of air pollutants with these high-rises. So that was the motivation, to try and get a better living environment, and it still is.
This one is saved. This one was slated for redevelopment.
Yep.
Which is your next target here that you need to preserve?
They've all been. This area's the Wingley Street area. We've battled over for 3 years, and down on Graham Street, where the street market we've battled over. We're having quite good success on this site.
The battle to preserve the street life of Wingley continues. Somewhere in its past is my treasure. At Wingley Street, I am taken to meet its oldest resident by my guide, Maggie Leong.
Hello， 黃大早晨，早晨啊
Hi there. Hello, good morning. Good morning. How are you? Hello, how are you?
92-year-old Mrs. Kwong lives in this 40-square-meter apartment with her daughter-in-law, her son, and 9-year-old grandson.
How long has she been here in Wingley?
In this apartment? In Wingley.
Yeah.
婆婆住咗幾耐啊？喺度，喺呢度。
40幾年，問你住咗幾耐？啊？問你喺呢度住咗幾耐？30幾年啦。40幾年啊！40幾年有啦。
40幾年都有啦。嗰陣係點解會搬嚟永利街嘅？
我哋唔識字唔記得啦，唔識字啊。
Is there anything here that she treasures the most?
喺呢間屋咧，你最中意乜嘢啊？最中意乜嘢啊？呢間屋有冇嘢你最中意㗎？
得啦，又唔識字。
Louis Yuet Ming has clearer memories of Wingley. She has lived in the area since she was a child.
What is, I guess, your favorite memory of Wingley?
你喺呢度印象最深刻嘅係乜嘢啊？
打風8號風球，我哋做細路仔嘅時候喺呢度呢個位啊，咁啊全部所有啲排檔，呢度好多排檔嘅，所有冧晒咯。咁啊又有魚啊菜啊，即係咩咁啊送晒而家啲貨，咁啊唔要噶啦，即係因為打風冧晒落嚟，咁啊所有啲人出嚟執咯，個個都出嚟執嚟翻屋企去煮嚟食咯。
I remember Roger telling me about the businesses which used to thrive on Wingley. There are no more silver shops, but Maggie takes me to the last printing company still left on the street. The Lees have been here for over 30 years, and there is nothing 82-year-old Mr. Lee does not know about the business. He has been at it since he was 20.
There's so many little pieces.
AIOU
Wow.
多啲 slow 士咁樣。
To have every character and every shape and size.
And fonts.
English 啊。
Fonts different, yeah. Can you imagine? You have to be very organized to make sure nothing gets messed up.
佢話真係要好有擺得要好有規律啊，係咪？要好整齊，如果唔係真係揾到傻。
即係你打住一樣啫嘛，咁嘅唔使睇啊，拎埋中啊，都得㗎。
This is just like typing.
Yeah.
即係你打住。
Oh, when you use, yeah, I bet he knows where every little thing is,
即係你
right?
打住。
Yeah, you memorize. Wow.
慣
That's a
咗。
lot of memorizing.
This printing press caught my eye.
Now, does this press actually work?
而家係咪仲喐得咁？
而家喐得係呢個機咧係西德嘅機啊，好耐㗎啦，已經差唔多成100年嘅。
哦，
係嘛？我買翻嚟都成50年有多
50
啊。
it works like a charm, doesn't it?
The price of the machine was the equivalent of a piece of real estate in the area at that time.
The Lees paid 140,000 Hong Kong dollars for this printing press in the 60s, and in today's property market, it would be worth about 9 million. But to the Lees, it's priceless. This is clearly the treasure of Wing Lee Street, and it has many stories to tell.
我嘅心願咧係想做印刷博物館，俾人知道嘅印刷拖時慢慢執住粒，慢慢捱到咁樣啊！社會進步啱啊，但係歷史都有凝咗喺度啊嘛。
The future of Wing Lee Street and its residents hangs in limbo. Wing Lee's future development depends on striking a delicate balance between the rights of its residents, the landlords who want an economic payoff to their investment, and the need to protect one of the last vestiges of Hong Kong's social history.
呢條街咧相當係好，因為佢冇污染、冇汽車經過。以前啲細路仔咧成日喺街玩，成條街咧人情味相當好喎。你關心我，我關心你，成條街都係咁，都仍需保持呢條街嘅人情味。拜拜。
From Hong Kong, it's a flight of just under 4 hours to the city-state of Singapore. The mythical merlion, which stands guard at the mouth of the Singapore River, is the city's most recognized icon. But there is a new one. The Pinnacle at Duxton in the central business district was launched in 2008. The 7 skyscrapers are not office buildings nor luxury apartments. The Pinnacle is the tallest public housing complex in the world. From this dizzying height of 50 stories, it's easy to overlook Singapore's oldest public housing estate, Tiong Bahru. Tiong Bahru, located on the fringe of the city, seems a world apart. It is immediately intimate. Yet its architecture, with its elegant curves, has a no less heady feel.
In Tiong Bahru, I have 2 treasures to find. The first, a dancing lady. The second is a cup fit for a king. Dancing ladies? Kings? Sounds like this Cinderella is ready for the ball.
Okay, finding a fairy godmother here to help me is a bit of a stretch.
Hi Linda, welcome
there.
to Tiong Bahru.
Oh, well, thank you.
I hope you enjoy your visit this afternoon.
I'm sure I will.
Come, let's go. Let me show you around.
But I could not ask for anyone better than Kelvin Ong, a resident with a passion for the estate.
Well, coming down this street, you can see that the view is totally different from this side to this side.
That is indeed a very unique feature of Tiong Bahru. Every street has got its unique architecture, even though they generally look the same, but there are unique features that are really special to each block. So you know where you are, just by looking at the buildings.
Is that right?
Yes. So for example, to your left, these buildings are of a type where there are lots of sun shading over the windows, and they're very finely constructed, very thin, just maybe 3 inches thick, and they run in a nice long horizontal manner around the corners with curves, so you feel a bit like an ocean liner. Okay. That's one style. The other style on my right would be the Art Deco mixed with, say, Dutch brickwork style approach, make it a little bit warmer.
Nice.
So you see a lot of horizontal bands of brick. But the balconies are staggered upwards, so they go shorter and shorter with each floor. And the brickwork are in bands that draw your eyes upwards to the very top of the building, the 4th story.
Yeah.
So they say it looks a bit, in the old days, they say it looked a bit like those Hollywood apartments from Hollywood films.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So,
I
Art
get that
Deco.
feeling, yeah.
And of course, it was full of beautiful women in the 1930s and 1940s.
Is that right?
Yes. So the glamour of the architecture and the glamour of the women here. Because many men then used to have second wives. or mistresses, and this was one place where they will put them up.
Now this place looks like where a dancing lady might get talked up for the ball. It's owned by a mother and daughter team. The mother cuts, the daughter designs.
These are some of the clothes that we do for customers. Okay, this is a handmade qipao. The trimmings are all based on the colors of the flowers, and this is double trimming. The buttons are all handmade. The opening is in front, and the zip is at the side. And we have 2 side slits at the side. This is with a 2.5-inch height collar, which helps the lady to look very tall and slim. Okay. Hey, Linda.
Yeah.
Maybe you would love to try this.
Gorgeous.
Please go and try it on.
Yeah?
I'm sure it will fit you.
I'd really love to.
It was an offer I could not resist.
Oh, I love it. Very comfortable, very sleek.
Color suits you.
Thank you.
Yes.
But soon the clock will strike 12, and this Cinderella has already spent too long having a ball. This block of Tiongbahru flats houses an air raid shelter. Mary Pereira never lived in this estate, but this place is special to her. On the 21st of January, 1942, her father, a member of the Volunteer Corps, was among the 300 who died during the Japanese bombing blitz of Singapore.
My mother went into trauma when she realized, and she came down to this very air raid shelter, and out of the ashes of Singapore, my mother gave birth to me at 12:15 on the 22nd of January. I've gone through a full circle. At 68, I've come back to the place of my birth.
The Monkey God Temple has been standing in this corner of Tiong Bahru since 1921. Worshippers come from all over Singapore to pray for guidance and protection.
Now, this right here is an ancient Chinese way of asking the gods the answer to a question you might have, but it's only a yes or no answer. And if it lands like this, this is yes. Any other way is a no. So I will be asking, will I find my dancing lady? Yes.
I've been given an open invitation to explore one of Tiong Bahru's pre-war flats with all the original fittings. The whole flat is a treasure trove of artfully placed bric-a-brac from hand-me-downs and the owner's scavenging expeditions. Quirky and eclectic, but unfortunately no sign of any object or painting resembling a dancing lady.
What a beautiful room. Check out these place settings and silverware. All right, check this out. Wow. This tea set was in commemoration of the coronation of King George VI. Now, the story behind this beautiful object is that the owner's grandparents bought it on their honeymoon while they were in England in 1937. This is my treasure, a cup fit for a king.
As I continue my search for the dancing lady, I discover the Tiongbahru Market. The market was rebuilt in 2006, but the original building in 1955 was Singapore's first modern market. Then, as now, it's the pulse of the estate.
This escalator is a modern addition to the Tiongbahru Market and Food Center.
Tiong Bahru's palette of color and composition feeds the senses in more ways than one. Tiong Bahru is the inspiration for a regular group of sketchpad warriors who have mounted an exhibition.
Every place is really defined by the people staying there, and I'm always drawn to drawing people because it's like you are capturing the spirit and the souls of the place.
Wow.
So, and I love caricatures a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have to admit, this one really caught my eye. Because just like you said, the caricatures here, you can see, you know, kind of maybe their mood that they were in while they were eating, whenever you captured it. And even the floating words appear. Now, this was very interesting to me. Now, unfortunately, I can't read the language as it is, but to me, it almost seems like that's floating chatter. And that's a food stall for me.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
very noisy.
Very noisy.
Paul Meng prefers to explore intimate spaces.
So this features Kelvin's balcony, and it is a half in and half out space where you can look out and appreciate, you know, the street and the scenery. This is Kelvin's interior, and you know, it features his favorite sofa and how, you know, the flat in Tiong Bahru will look quite cozy.
It is very cozy, especially, right here. This is also Kelvin's house. Kelvin was a popular subject.
Yes, it's a dear friend of ours.
But it was Boone Sims' little black book which gave me what I needed.
What is this a picture of? Is this just the apartment?
It's coffee stain.
Oh, this is coffee stains.
Yes, I like to splash coffee so that you are free, and there's a liberation.
Really?
Yes. And you just have a dash of red color. And this one,
wow.
You want to make a guess? What is this? Look like
it's
you?
Very graceful, actually.
Yes.
This kind of looks like a dress.
Yes, like a dress. It's called the Dancing Lady.
The Dancing Lady?
It's by a very famous sculptor. His name is Lim Nang Sing.
Okay.
And he's very famous because he did the Merlion later.
Really?
The famous Merlion.
Oh, it's fantastic.
And we think he got the inspiration from this piece.
This is really beautiful.
Yeah.
Where is this?
It's very near. It's just at the corner.
And indeed, it was so close to the gallery, I missed it by a mile. But she is magnificent. The Residence Committee is working to build her statue up to be the icon of Tiong Bahru, sort of like a lost treasure found. And that's appropriate because the man who commissioned her was one of Singapore's first ministers of national development. My Dancing Lady is a fitting last treasure. It encapsulates a gentler time and place in Singapore's history. In the rapidly changing skyline of Singapore and skyrocketing real estate prices, there's an insider's joke among architects that they may outlive their buildings, and indeed, some already have.